Upper magnet is E-shaped magnet, lower magnet is U-shaped magnet. Upper magnet carries primary winding wounded on central link. Lower magnet carries secondary winding wounded on lower magnet. Half of the turns are wounded on lower magnet and half of the secondary wounded on upper magnet. This is a short circuit secondary winding. So this is a closed secondary winding. Primary connected to supply. Secondary is closed, not connected to any supply. When you apply this voltage 230 volt single phase whatever here to primary winding, because of electromagnetic induction, flux phi1 set which is associated with primary winding magnetic flux. Because of this flux, electromagnetically induced EMF is developed with primary winding. Okay. Then this flux phi1 is not only associated with upper magnet and primary winding, it is also associated with secondary winding too. So part of flux linking with secondary winding phi2, that develops secondary induced EMF in the secondary winding. Okay. So because of this part of flux linking, eddy current flows through the disc. Flux linking through because of the flux. The disc is also acting as a short circuit secondary. Okay. Primary winding. Secondary winding carries current I2. Because of this, flux phi2 is produced. Phi2 flux lags behind phi1 by angle alpha. Phi2 is part and parcel of phi1. So, the driving torque to rotate the disc is proportional to phi1 phi2. Phi1 phi2 into sine of angle between phi1 and phi2, that is alpha. So torque is produced proportional to phi1 phi2 sine alpha. Whenever this torque is sufficient to rotate the disc rotates to close the trip circuit contact and it gives signal to the trip circuit to operate. And hence trip circuit will operate to open the circuit breaker and isolate the fault. Understood?
Yes, sir.
The next relay, that is we are having static relay. Static relay. So difference between moving and static relay, that you are having the moving part. So these are electromagnetic relays. These electromagnetic relays are having moving parts like attraction, like induction principles, like expansion. But here you don't have any moving part. Therefore these relays are called as static relays. So static relays which there is no moving part, just I told you. The comparison of measuring quantity is done by electronic circuitry. So electronic comparators are used for comparison purpose. Some parts of static relays are shown in this figure. You are having, right? So you are having this transducer or instrument transformer secondary. So you are having the actuating quantity which is fed to the instrument transformer. Okay. And the secondary signal is available here. It is a, then you are having the rectifier. Multiple blocks are shown over here. Then you may have the relay measuring unit or comparator. Then you may need to amplify the signal for operation of the relay, so amplifier. Then you are having the output device which is giving output to the trip circuit contact of the circuit breaker. You are having the two supply, that is auxiliary supply required for just operation of the relay, and you may have the actuating quantity that may coming from the actual power circuit, that is different. So you are having two circuits, one is called as power circuit and another is called as auxiliary or control circuit. Okay. As far as these static relays are concerned, we are going for static relays nowadays. They don't have any moving part, so less burden over CTs, PTs compared to the conventional electromagnetic relays. So they consume very less power. These relays are directly, they are having the comparators, and these are electronic comparators. Comparator ICs are coming in the market. You have studied electronic comparators. So these comparators, they don't have moving part. They directly compare the digital signals. That is whether yes or no means high or low, 1 or 0, and accordingly giving the signal. So no moving part. So mechanical maintenance, erosion, corrosion and all these things, operations, mechanisms, they are entirely eliminated. There is no effect of gravity of the operation because of there is no moving part. In case of moving part and the equipment, or what we can say, the part of the equipment, moving part of the equipment, if it is heavy and moving against the gravity, you need to apply the force which is more than or which is against the gravity. There is no such part in the static relays. As far as my sound is clear to you? Hello. Are you able to hear me? झोपले काय परत?
Yes sir. Yes
मी
sir.
एकदा विचारल्यानंतर पटकन रिस्पॉन्स देत चला. Resetting and time overshoot. Okay. It is easily you can reset. Less time of operation, less than half cycle also, less than 1/4 cycle also. Relays, because relay is having less time of operation means finally isolation of circuit will take place as early as possible. Single relays for several functions that can be used. Same relay can be used for multiple, may be used for over voltage protection, may be used for under voltage protection, may be used for frequency, maybe means you can have combination of operation that can be do. High torque, as far as the operating torque, as far as the induction type relays are concerned, these relays are very small, compact in size, easy to carry, cost wise also economical. Then transducers are there to use or to convert any particular signal to electrical signal. You may have different types of signals that can be converted into electrical signal by using the transducers, and then they can be fed here. Are you able to see this? They can be fed to the static relays. You may have remote backup and monitoring can be done. You may have PLCC carrier power line carrier communication can be used for remote and backup operations. So these relays are very good for remote backup operations. Repeated operations are very easily possible in this case of relays. There are multiple advantages. I told you they can self-supervised. You may have programmable operations in the static relays. You can have computerized programmable operations, and you can have the history, you can have the data, you can have everything, you can have the operating characteristics, you can design the software that can be adaptable with static relays, and everything you can monitor on digital computers. Okay, so that these relays are called as self-supervisory category type relays. Is it okay? Some disadvantages are also there, though there are multiple advantages. As far as the auxiliary supply which is required for the operation of the relay, that is that provision you have to do. Then as far as the voltage transient is concerned, you are having the power signals that are transferred to the transducer for comparison, and according to the comparison output, comparing the signal with reference, the relaying operation, it is best. But because of the power swing, multiple transients, voltage, transient currents, they are coming primary side through CTPT through to transducer. So there are chances of serious over voltages produced because of the breaking of the control circuit, or the relay may itself because of get damaged because of the transients. So voltage spikes that can damage the secondaries, semiconductor and electronic components. That may be the disadvantage. Taken can be definitely care can be definitely taken for the operation of the relay. Then temperature sensitive, these relays are temperature sensitive. Wide range of application of the temperature. Definitely you have to you must have the good heat sinks and all this in electronic design. Little bit higher price they are having. Characteristics of these relays get affected, and these are very, very precise relays. These relays, when introduced in the power system, the operational or skilled person, that those are required for operation of the relays. Training to the operators must be given, programming, working, applications. Regarding the static relays, skilled persons, experienced persons needed, trained persons needed, okay, to maintain the relay and relaying operations. So as far as the static relays are concerned, this is the part.